Good day, YouTube. My name is Colin, and today we're talking about 3 stocks that I am most excited about for January 2018. Okay, thanks for tuning in. 3 stocks I'm most excited about for January 2018. Plus an honorable mention. There was one I wanted to put in there. It's actually a REIT, but I did not put it in this video because I made a separate video for REITs that I invite you to check out. In fact, once I get that one uploaded, I will actually put a link in the comment section. And that's going to be 3 REITs that I am most excited about for 2018. Now, let's get into the stocks. 3 stocks that I am most excited about. The first stock, perhaps this might not come to a surprise to a lot of you, as I have been talking about this company quite a bit for the last couple months, and that is going to be the social networking Goliath, Facebook. That's right, Facebook. They got the Facebook app / platform / website, Facebook. They got Instagram, the WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. I'm just going to briefly go over a few highlights from that, and these are the same numbers that were reported on the most recent earnings report. So we're going to show you some of those highlights, plus a few other things that I also want to point out, and then we're going to cut back, and there's a few other things I really want to talk about with this pick. So let's flip around and take a look at some charts. Okay, so first here, just a quick review of some of the financials. As you can see here, revenue has been consistently, steadily growing quarter after quarter. Income from operations still growing along with that revenue. And as you're seeing, net income growing as well, actually a little bit even faster than the revenue. And all this is boiling down to great growth in the diluted earnings per share. So each share is getting more and more valuable every quarter, up to an all-time high of 1.32, and retained earnings has been exponentially growing, so much money on hand. Facebook's got more money than they know what to do with. Daily active users, as you can see here, consistent growth. These are the people that log on to the platform every day, up to over 1.3 billion, which is crazy. And I just want to point this out. This is from an article. As we can see here, Facebook captures roughly 20% of global digital advertising spending, and this is a category which is growing in double digits. So as you can see, not only is Facebook getting more and more control of that market, but the whole category in general is just growing exponentially. So much potential for Facebook here. So there you have it. Consistent bottom line growth, consistent top line growth, consistent growth in users, both monthly active users, daily active users. We're now up to over 1.3 billion. How many other websites can say that they receive that much traffic every single day? Absolutely nuts. So you got so much exposure, so many people using the platform. And not only that, but if you listen to some of the conference calls, they're getting more and more sophisticated with the AI development. So you're able to be more effective with the advertising that is used on the platform. For example, maybe I'm into snowboarding. When I click on the TV, I might see a commercial for golf, but I'm not really into golf. If I go on Facebook, it knows what I'm into, and if I see an ad about snowboarding, maybe it doesn't bother me as much. It's not, maybe I'll even click on it and check out the website. So much more specified marketing, much more effective, and much less annoying to the consumer. And they haven't even by the way, Facebook hasn't even really monetized WhatsApp or the Messenger. So it's just crazy with that kind of stuff. And they're also getting more and more advanced with video capabilities. I don't know if you've noticed it, but when you log right into the Facebook app, right at the bottom where they have, like, by the way, I also mentioned this before, they have like a Craigslist type thing, which is almost more sophisticated than Craigslist. Say I'm looking for Beats headphones. Well, I maybe search around for a while, I don't see what I like. Maybe later that day, somebody posts something on for sale that's similar to what I was looking for, I'll get notified. Like, it's crazy how Craigslist can't do that. Facebook is going to be more convenient. More people are going to start using Facebook to buy CNC devices for consumer to consumer sales instead of Craigslist. But also the video. So so people who already have the Facebook app, you can click on the bottom and you can see that there's a video feed which is similar to YouTube. So really, what is Facebook not dipping its hands into? So with the massive amount of people engaged with their products, with the massive amount of money coming in, and the more and more efficient it's becoming for marketers, it's eventually marketers are really not going to be interested in billboards. They're not going to be interested in radio. They're not going to be interested in TV. They're going to want to be putting their advertisements on Facebook or other things like Facebook, where they can effectively reach the people they want to reach because of the AI and the metrics they're able to use. So for those reasons, Facebook is a stellar stock. There you have it. Facebook is the first stock I'm going to talk about. Now, second stock I want to talk about, and that is Google. Now, before I really talk about it too much, I just want to flip around and just show you, highlight a couple graphs and charts. Some of this I've talked about before, some of this I haven't, some of this is new. So let's flip around and just take a look at a few highlights about this pick. Okay, first thing we always got to talk about with Google is the massive amount of cash on hand. Such a strong balance sheet. As you can see here, consistent growth in cash. Now we're over $100 billion in total cash. So just a super secure, safe company from that standpoint. Revenues, as you can see here, always good to see that consistent or rather good growth there. As you can just want to point out, the debt here, very small in relation to the amount of cash that they have on hand. Now, this is interesting. This is a brief article. Now, we all know Google, the massive search engine, the YouTube, but the Pixel is another line of business that they're looking to get into, and it's something I don't even really care how that did because the YouTube and the search were so profitable. But you're seeing here, Christmas sales are showing a lot of great, surprising growth from the Pixel and the Pixel XL compared to 2016 Christmas sales. So a lot of potential with the smartphone space, which is kind of an unexpected thing. But just another reason to just love this company. And here we're looking at another article which just talks about the massive amount of money that Google has been investing in AI, arguably more than any of its competitors. And this is really going to be paying dividends down the line as Google looks to continue to innovate with things like the Home Assistant, which competes with the Alexa, like driverless cars and these types of things. So a very bright future ahead. So there you have it. Lots to be excited about Google on a financial standpoint. A killer balance sheet. Lots of growth. For those of you who don't know, Google has the Goliath Google Search, which is where they get so much of their business and growing revenue from there. They also have YouTube, which just keeps getting bigger and bigger and innovating more and more with things like YouTube Red, and now they're getting subscription-based services, streaming sports, those types of things. So much growth there. It's surpassed TV for viewership. It's definitely the future of video, of TV shows, of that type of thing. Now, you also, I mentioned before, a third thing they're getting involved in is the mobile sales with the Pixel phone. And that's doing better than I even expected. I thought it was a great company before the Pixel phone, even really just kind of casting that aside. But that's actually a major player. That was doing better than Samsung and other Android devices. So, wow, if that's just kind of a bonus. That makes it even better of a stock and more to love. But ultimately, you have the same type of thing that Facebook has, where they are able to use so much of their AI and their analytics to sell certain types of advertising to certain types of viewers. The same thing Facebook is able to do, Google is able to do with YouTube and with the Google search. So ultimately, advertisers are going to be looking for those types of platforms to be advertising. That's where they're going to want to advertise because it's going to be more effective, and they're going to be able to really gauge how effective their ads are. And for that reason, they're going to be able to charge more money for those ads. YouTube really doesn't charge a lot for ads. It's going to be bumped up, I'm sure, as they get better and better and higher demand, as they continue to catch on to how effective this type of advertising can be as the AI gets more and more sophisticated. It's really going to be where advertisers are going to want to be putting their money, which is going to help these types of companies. All right, now moving on. So our first two picks, Google and Facebook, those are not new picks. This next one is a new pick, brand new, never been on this series, and that is Apple. Loving Apple. I think it's going to be a great buy for January 2018. Let me first flip over and show you a couple quick charts, and then I'll come back and kind of give you a little bit more analysis. Okay, so first off, we want to talk about valuation in this company. And when you have a Shiller PE around 32.6, a company that is coming in at a PE of around 18 and change, seems like it is a great deal. And you're looking here also at a forward PE of around 16. So from that perspective, definitely a great price. And also price to sales at 3.82x and price to books at 6.5 are more indication that you're coming in at a great current price for this stock. Briefly, just want to touch again on the balance sheet. As you can see, total current assets have been steadily rising year over year. That was current assets. Now this is total assets. You're seeing that same consistent growth there. And just for comparison purposes, we're going to look at the liabilities, where you're also seeing that growth and current liabilities and total liabilities. So all the ratios there look good, as I talked about in previous videos. Now, earnings, as you can see, they have consistently beat earnings, and Q4 is, as you can see, the estimate is very high with the new products, including the iPhone X, coming to market. Now, there's a lot of worry that maybe iPhone X isn't going to meet the demand based off of different indicators that have been out there. I believe this is largely to do with the delay in making the product available. So many people are waiting for the phone, and so you might have some disappointing numbers on that call. However, I don't think it's going to be too disappointing. There's been plenty of indication that sales have been strong. Tim Cook has said they've been strong. We're still looking. This is a recent article showing as many as 90 million iPhones in the past 3 months, which would blow away the company's previous records. Now, I just want to show you this here because I'm looking at Apple as like a steady, reliable dividend company. As you can see, a great history here of reliable dividend payments. So not necessarily needing to grow, just sit back and collect those dividends. Also, with all the cash and all the revenue coming in, there is plenty of room for Apple to improve their dividend. So I would expect and hope that they are going to increase that dividend here in 2018 or 2019. So there you have it. Great PE to get into for a great company. Very profitable, very consistent, great dividend history. And the thing about Apple that I didn't even mention is the services industry, where you're seeing so much growth. So you get people into the ecosystem, you get them buying more cloud space, those types of things, all with their iPhones. That's where you're seeing a lot of growth as well, and I didn't even get into that. But as far as Apple goes, now a lot of the talk right now is whether they're going to meet those bullish expectations for this quarter after they release the new iPhone X and iPhone 8. And you are going to have quite what a lot of people are not really looking at, and that's going to be the Shiller effect. That is when you release and debut a product, but you don't make it available till long after it's released. People are not going to be purchasing items that are going to be immediately obsolete, so they're going to wait and order. So there's definitely a long period of time from when the iPhone X was released to when it was available to be purchased. For that reason, a lot of people weren't going to sit around and buy the iPhone X. So that's ultimately going to end up hurting sales this quarter, but in the long term, it'll be fine. People are still going to be, as they come due, as their contracts come ready, they're going to upgrade to the X or the 8 or whatever, probably mostly the X. So you did see a little bit of disappointing numbers with the X potentially. However, you're still seeing strong numbers with new activations with Apple, new Apple phones anyways. So I have no concerns with where they're going. And like I say, it's going to be a strong holiday season, even if the iPhone X doesn't meet all of the bullish expectations it was projected to have. It's not going to hurt this company. It is Apple, and it has such a loyal customer base. I remember listening to Warren Buffett talk about Coca-Cola in that they bottle happiness, and that is so many people just love the brand and they're so attached to it. Well, you have that same type of brand loyalty with Apple. I admit I am an Apple product user. I have the iPhone, and I consistently buy it just because I recognize it. If when I think of an Apple product, I just think of something that it just works so effortlessly, never has an issue, always does what I want it to do, always easy to use, and always performs well for me. And so many, I am not alone. So many people feel the same way. That's why it's such a popular product. And that is why Apple is going to be just fine, whether they knock it out of the park this holiday season or not. But like I said before, I think they will have great numbers. However, this might be one to buy on the dip, because if a lot of the bullish expectations is priced into Apple, and they will report earnings at the end of January. So you might see a dip around earnings, which would give you a great entry point to get into this long-term investment that I would consider Apple to be. So something to look out for there, and something you might want to try. So there you have it. A quick summary, the 3 picks for this month: Facebook, Google, and Apple. Now, the honorable mention I have is actually a company called O, and that is a REIT. And I was going to put it on this video, but I decided not to, and instead make an entire video about 3 REITs that I'm most excited about. I've had some requests for that, so we'll go ahead and link that video in the comments section once that is available. I invite you to check that out. Feel free to give me a like. Feel free to subscribe if you're interested in stock market, personal finance, any of that type of thing. You might enjoy my channel. Other than that, thanks for watching and tuning in to Financial Success.